last one of my field policies. This is a really big one. Who here has a hotspot? I got you guys. No hotspots at the event. Please turn your hotspot off right now. This is an actual rule outlined in the game manual. And if we find repeated offenders, we have the technology to find out who has a hotspot on. And we will be going to the stands and finding out who has hotspot. And if your team has a hotspot on, Steven and I will be having an escalation talk. It can affect your team's performance on the field. And I'm sure Steve will briefly go into that because I cannot give out any actual penalty. But Steve can. So please, no hotspots. There is a chance for it to interfere with all of these wonderful kids' robots and their controls. It can cause latency, and that's not fair to them. They worked so hard to get to this point. You know, why blow it on a hotspot and possibly causing them to lose the match? That's not fair at all. So if you really need some Wi-Fi or some internet, please exit the gym. Go either outside or into the pit area or the cafeteria. Just please not in here. Currently, we have live match results over on FTC.events, so you'll be able to see live match results there. We are currently in the process as we speak updating the Orange Alliance, but right now the match data will not be available there. If it gets available at any time throughout the event, we'll go ahead and let you know. But TOA is big broke right now. And I believe that's it. I don't know about you guys. I'm really ready to have an exciting and smooth week one. You guys have been great so far, getting field inspected so quickly, and you know everyone seems very pleasant to work with. I'm ready for this event. I'm excited. Let's have a great event. I'm going to turn it over to your head referee.
Thank you, Kyle. Okay, so let me start with a couple things. We're really happy you guys are here. Welcome to week one. So week one is always the fun event to start off with because we really haven't done it. So I want to tell you our basic rules are our position for all the rules are here to make sure you're playing fairly amongst each other. You're all playing the same rules. We're not out here to punish you or try to penalize you and stuff like that. But if you're doing something wrong, we will. Also, our referee and myself will warn you if we can catch you in time before you get a penalty. Make sure. So let me talk about a couple things that you want to make sure you do. So who here's a human player? Of those human players, if you read the rules, raise your other hand. Okay, so now one of the things is the human player can actually get a lot of penalties. So if the robot bumper is inside the substation, can you place the cone inside? Okay. If it's just on over the tape, can you do? No. So if the robot's there or their arms there or anything's inside there, you cannot break the plane into the playing field. If you do, you'll get a minor penalty. If you do it over and over and over, it'll be escalated. So the main thing is, also how many cones can a human player put into substation? Well, what if he wants to put a cone and the topper in there? Can you do that at the same time? Nope. He can only do one at a time. So he can actually do that. What if he put the cone in there and it falls on its side? Can he reach in and turn it so it correct ways? Actually, he can if there's not a robot there. So that's just one of those things that you have when you read the rules. It doesn't say you can't do it. But now, what happens if you put the cone down and a robot knocks it outside the substation? He can't touch that at all. If he does, that's a major penalty because it's outside the substation. The main thing is where that whole thing is to protect you guys because people running the robots, if it goes out of hand or something like that, you might get hit. Also, the human players, make sure you're aware of where the robots are because sometimes they swing outside the field, and I don't want you to get hurt. Also, let's talk about safety for 1 second. I'm looking out here and I see one pair of shoes that aren't legal. So anyone who's wearing Crocs, if you're not, sorry about that. You cannot wear. They have to be closed-toed with a covered heel to be on the field. We've all been warned, and we won't be able to do it. Cannot wear dark glasses out here. We have to be able to see your eyes through your safety glasses. So, what else? The signals out there, you know that they're just show you where to go to park, correct? You should not use them to score. It's because they don't score any points for you. You can't use them to prevent them from scoring either, because then you're actually using a game piece to make the game harder. So you get penalized for that. So once those guys are there, they're just kind of there for the signaling the start of the match, and they don't get used at all for the rest. Also, during the first part of the meeting, first part during autonomous, you can't touch the controls at all unless it's causing damage to the field to stop it. Understood? During teleop, there'll be a countdown. You'll hear the announcer go, drivers pick up your controls. And we're starting in 3, 2, 1, go. So I just want to let you know is that you hit go when he goes 3, 2, 1, go. Not 3, 2, oh. You need to start on time. Also, you can't wait 5 seconds because the other robot's in your way. Yeah, you can program it to do that, but you cannot physically touch the control. Don't worry, I'm going to handle the question. When you're setting up your robot, also is you cannot use a ruler or your foot or your arm to measure where you are on the field, unless it's connected to the robot permanently. So you could have a tape measure on it if you wanted to, but it'd have to go back inside the field. Also, you guys know where you have to start your robot? There's 2 conditions. One is you have to be touching your alliance wall, correct? And 2, you cannot be in your terminal or your substation. Also, we're here to help out. So, and we're gonna move on to our question. Oh, if you're getting a penalty, the referee will usually point at you and then raise the color of things. They'll also usually yell something like, "Hey, penalty for this," if you can hear it. Also, if it's a major penalty, they will point at it and then cross their arms after. So, and for question and answer, Kate here is going to be head reffing for her first time next week. So I'm going to have her do the question and answers, and I'll also help with the answers. Katie, come on over. If you have questions, if you could line up right here, we're going to take about 10 questions, and then we'll be done.
So,
All right, we're gonna form that question line. You're doing it great now. As soon as I get on the mic, you're perfect. Awesome.
so she asked if human player can place the cone inside of the zone but still touch the tape, and can still, as long as it's not outside of the tape, still place it touch the tape. So he asked if the human player can be outside of like the tape driver zone, And if you need to like be outside of the box a little bit to like place it in, that's fine. But if you're not placing it in, you have to be inside of.
You must have asked a tricky question.
Okay, the question was they have a camera and it has the color sensor on it, and they were asking if they can test it before the match to make sure that it's being correct, positioned correct. And the question is, as long as all you're doing initializing the robot, you can. But if you have to set it up into a whole program, you can't. Fair enough?
So he asked again if cone place it on the tape but have it still like outside of the tape when the human player is placing it, and you have and the cone cannot be outside of like outer tape. Can't like surpass that. So he asked if when they start driving and after autonomous, you'll hear the voice go drivers pick up your controllers. You can hold your controllers, but don't start driving until it says go.
Well, thank you all. And I want to remind the teams that the match 1 and 2, 3 and 4, match 1 and 2 need to be set up for opening ceremonies. Match 3 and 4 need to be set up in the staging area for it. And I wish you guys all luck. If you have any questions, one player for a human player can not one person from the team, not the coach, can come over and ask questions if you have any questions. Thank you.
And just a reminder, those teams in match number 1, 101.36, 105.38, 20.332, and 21.914 over on field 1. And in match number 2 over here on field 2, 108.12, 101.37, 15.819, and 11729. You could set up on the field before opening ceremonies. That would be great. Thank you. Opening ceremony starts at 10:30 in 2 minutes.
Good morning, everyone. Why don't we start having a seat if you're not in the first two matches? Go have a seat. Teams in queuing, go have a seat, please. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the 2022 Heartland FTC Qualifier and welcome you to Heartland, Michigan. I want to welcome you to the Power Play presented by Raytheon Technologies. Thank you. First Energy presented by Qualcomm. First is the global robotics community preparing young people for the future. First engages students in grades pre-K 12 of our suite of STEM engineering programs. First LEGO League, first robotics competition, and of course, first Tech Challenge. As you know, First Tech Challenge started in 2005, and we've grown to more than 6,000 teams in 25 countries. This continues the informative or transformative impact of FIRST programs, and you're part of this movement. All of you are helping to make this program possible for the next generation of innovators in this room. Okay, we're gonna have a blast today. We have 24 teams, and they're coming together after a good build season, getting to this point for this Robot Season Challenge Power Play. As you know, from tackling the challenge this year, STEM skills have been so important to solving the issues facing the world, and the First Tech Challenge is forming the leaders and innovators of tomorrow by getting these kids involved in these disciplines early. So let's give them a round of applause for their work to get here today. Okay, I would like to recognize the group of leaders in this room. If you were a former FIRST alumni, or I guess you're not a former alumni, you are an alumni, but if you were a former FIRST participant, please stand. Awesome. Cool. All right. Also, if you were in 8th grade, please stand. Thank you. As you know, the 8th graders, for some of you, Power Play, this will be your final season in FTC. We would like to take this moment to recognize you for that. And also, we will see you at the FRC level in just about a year. So if not, some of you might shadow up coming up this. So thank you. All right, I want to take a moment also to recognize and thank all the parents, coaches, mentors. And obviously, I have an army of volunteers behind me to recognize those too, to make this day special possible. Without these people, it would not be possible. Please give a round of applause. Okay, also, we'd like to ask you to honor the first ethos of gracious professionalism. This means doing your best work. At the same time, we're going to respect and value other students, teams, and most importantly, the volunteers here. Today is where all the hard work you put into designing, building, and programming your robots comes into life, thrilling in this competition. Now, I'd like to introduce you to a special person who will be the voice you'll hear more than mine, thankfully, Mr. Brian Graham.
I switched sides. Hey, everyone, good morning. Who is excited to be at Heartland? Fantastic. Well, I am excited to be here. This is a week 1 event. And you know, week 1 is a difficult week. Everybody's strategy hasn't been figured out yet. Maybe some of you are still finishing your robot. Anyone still finishing? No? All right. Actually, I saw the robots back in the pit. I saw some practice matches. I saw the field inspections. You're all looking really good. Give yourselves a huge round of applause. Now, as you know, every year FIRST comes up with a new theme for the season. And this year, it's FIRST Energized, presented by Qualcomm. And in it, they've asked teams from around the world to reimagine the future of sustainable energy. And of course, First Tech Challenge has come up with their own game. And this year it's called Power Play. And it's presented by Raytheon Technology. And in it, teams are asked to compete in an energy-driven game where they test the limits of performance, efficiency, and endurance. All right. Who here knows how the game is played? Oh, not very many. Good news. We've got a game animation that explains the rules and the gameplay. So we're going to take a look at that game animation right now.
Welcome to the First Tech Challenge 2022-2023 season game. Power Play, presented by Raytheon Technologies. A team consists of up to 2 driver operators, a human player, a coach, and a robot. Each match is played with 4 randomly selected teams, 2 per alliance. But each alliance is only allowed 1 human player. Your opponent for one match may be your partner for another. Robots must be built from materials specified in the game manual and fit within an 18-inch sizing tool, but may expand after the match begins. The game element is a 4-inch diameter by 5-inch tall plastic cone. There are 60 cones, 30 red and 30 blue. Teams may also use their custom-designed beacons in gameplay. The game is played on a 12-foot square playing field with a foam tile floor and 1-foot-high walls. Various sized junctions are placed across the field, including 9 ground junctions. In addition, there are 8 low, 4 medium, and 4 high junctions. These junctions are mounted on flexible springs and might not be perfectly vertical. Taped-off substations are centered on both sides. In each corner are taped-off terminals. In the front and back of the field are taped stripes to help robots find cone stacks. There are 4 signals placed on the field. 4 unique navigation images are positioned on the field walls. And outside of the field are the red and blue alliance stations. Before each match, cones are stacked in the substation storage areas and inside the playing fields. Custom beacons are also placed in the substation storage areas. Teams place their robots on the field, touching the wall between the substations and terminals. Each team may preload 1 cone into their robot. The 3-sided signal is then randomized. Each image references a specific parking target during match play. If a team designs their own signal sleeve, it can be used to gain additional points. The field and players are now ready. The match begins with a 30-second autonomous period. During this period, there are a number of ways for teams to score, using only pre-programmed instructions and sensor inputs. Each cone secured on a junction earns points. 2 points for the ground junction, 3 points for the low junction, 4 points for the medium junction, and 5 points for the high junction. A robot parked in their alliance substation or terminal earns 2 points. If a robot's sensors correctly read the randomized signal, it can park in the corresponding signal zone to earn 10 points. However, parking in the proper signal zone shown by a custom signal sleeve will earn 20 points. Following the autonomous period is the 2-minute driver-controlled period. During this period, human players may introduce new cones into the substations. Each cone that is placed in its matching color terminal earns 1 point. To Securing cones in junctions earns the same points as during the autonomous period. 2 points for the ground junction, 3 points for the low, 4 points for medium, and 5 points for the high junction. The last 30 seconds of the driver-controlled period is the end game. Robots may continue scoring cones, but there are also ways to earn bonus points. Alliances earn points for owning a junction. This can be accomplished in 2 ways. An alliance owns the junction if their colored cone is scored on top. This earns an additional 3 points. The junction can also be owned by capping it with a beacon. This earns 10 additional points and prevents the opposing alliance from recapturing that junction. An alliance earns 20 points by completing a circuit. This is done by owning a continuous path of junctions from one terminal to the other. And if a robot is parked in either of their alliance terminals, it earns 2 points. All cones scored during the autonomous period count again if they remain in place at the end of the match. There are many ways to score in power play, but there are also rules that, if not followed, will deduct points from your alliance. For example, robots may not descore opposing alliance cones or beacons. A robot may not block or interfere with an opposing alliance attempting to score. A robot must be completely outside of a substation in order to score a cone or a beacon.
So there's various penalties. You can't throw the cone. We're getting the audio back. You can't throw the cones at the human players. You should already know all the penalties, by the way. So good luck. There's a website for more information about the game. And there is a fist bump.
Scoring elements may not be launched, and robots may not deliver a terminal to the other, and that if not followed will deduct points from your alliance. For example, robots may not descore opposing alliance cones or beacons. A robot may not block or interfere with an opposing alliance attempting to score. A robot must be completely outside of a substation in order to score a cone or a beacon. Robots may control or possess only one cone and one beacon at a time. Scoring elements may not be launched, and robots may not deliberately remove game elements from the playing field. This has been a brief summary of this season's game, Power Play, presented by Raytheon Technologies. For complete rules, please read both game manuals and check the Q&A forum. And always remember the most important rule in First Tech Challenge: gracious professionalism. Good luck, teams, and have a great season!
Pretty simple, right? Everyone's got that all completely? Simple rules. Don't worry, we're going to talk you through it. Apologize for the little glitch there. I wonder who we can blame the glitch on, Chelsea. I'm just kidding. All right. I'd now like to introduce you to a few group of people. And the first one is all the folks in the yellow shirts back here. What? You want to come around out front? Come on out. These are our judges. And they're led by our judge advisor, Jen Solarius. Come on out, judges. Now, the judges have a very difficult job this weekend. And they've already been busy. They've been interviewing teams. They've been looking at engineering notebooks. During the day, they're going to be watching matches out here and talking to teams in the pit. And they have the very difficult job of picking out the best of the best to figure out who to give some of those awards over there to at the end of the day. So let's give our judges a huge round of applause. The next group of folks that I'd like to introduce. Look, they did a great job, yes. The next group of folks I'd like to introduce are our field technical advisors. And I believe you already met them earlier. Kyle and Soren, where are you? There's Kyle, Soren's walking there. Our field technical advisors are experts in the control systems, the field management systems, and all the technical aspects of the game. So if you have any trouble, the FTAs are great people to ask. So big round of applause to our FTAs once again. The next group of folks that you're probably going to want to get to know are our zebras. I mean, referees. Our referees. And they are led by our head referee, Steve Sexton. Now, Steve has a quick message here. So go ahead, Steve. I think there's a rule clarification from earlier.
During Q&A, I misspoke. Once you place the cone on the field, you can no longer touch it. I misspoke. It was Q&A question number 3. So once you do that, once you place a cone on the field, you cannot touch it anymore. Does that make sense? Sorry about that, guys. There you go.
No touchy. Okay. Our referees, led by Steve Sexton here, have a very important job today. Their job is to make sure that everybody plays by the rules, we play fair, and remember, there are no video replays or redos. And please follow the question process that they've laid out. And we've got the question box. You talked about the question box earlier. If you have a question, you stand here, and Steve will come talk to you and work on that question. So let's give the referees a big round of applause. They have a difficult job today. The next group of folks I want to call out are our mentors and coaches. Give your mentors and coaches a huge round of applause. They are the glue that holds your teams together. They're very important. Without the mentors and coaches, this whole thing wouldn't work. And I'd just like to thank all the mentors and coaches. I know many of you are coaching at the Lego League, of course in First Tech Challenge, but also at the first robotics competition in our high school here in Michigan. So once again, coaches and mentors, thank you. Give them a big round of applause. Now, earlier, you may have heard mention of gracious professionalism. We've got a short video to explain gracious professionalism from some of the winners of the Dean's List Award. So let's take a look.
Gracious professionalism to me is being able to create and partake in a community where everyone's ideas and opinions are valued.
It means being trustworthy, respectful, and always ready to work with others to help them grow.
Working hard to reach your goals in the competition, while also helping other teams reach their own goals.
Being nice and respectful to your competitors and treating them as friends while learning and growing with them as a community.
It means creating an inclusive community by helping others and even sharing information with other teams.
One way we can be gracious professionals is to share our work with the FIRST community online, so others can learn from us and we can learn from others.
As members of FIRST, we learn and compete, but treat one another with respect and kindness in the process.
Building the best possible future for everyone. Even though we are all competing against each other, if we raise our competitors up, we all win.
All right. I've got the schedule of events for today. So after we finish opening ceremonies, we're going to go into our qualifying matches, and we will play our qualifying matches throughout the day. We are going to take a break at 12:30 for lunch, and for those of you who did pre-orders for lunch, you can pick those pre-orders up in the concession area across the hall. So we will have a hard stop at 12:30 for lunch. We'll finish our qualifying matches And then we will do alliance selection. And that's where we'll take the 4 highest seed teams after qualifying matches and build our 4 alliances for our elimination matches. We'll play our elimination matches, get a winner here for the Heartland Qualifier, and immediately following that, we will do our award ceremony where we'll find out what awards the judges are handing out. Sound good? Yeah? All right. At this time, I'd like everyone to please rise, remove your hats for our national anthem. And to perform our national anthem today, we have select members of the Heartland High School Choir. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our opening ceremonies. We're going to come over here to field number 1 and get ready for match number 1, week 1 of the 22-23 First Tech Challenge season.
And just a quick heads up, these scores and all the results for these matches are being posted live to theorangealliance.org. So if you would like to see the results of these matches, you can go ahead and check them out on theorangealliance.org as well as our live stream. Thank you.
Right, why don't we meet our teams here on match number 1? On our Red Alliance, Team 10136, the Frost Robo Falcons from Livonia. Their partners, Team 10538, Team Kilts from Howell, Michigan. On our Blue Alliance, Team 2332, Just Add Logic from Troy. And rounding out that Blue Alliance, Team 21914, Team Karma from Howell. All right, ladies and gentlemen, drivers in the box in 3, 2, 1, go. We've got some early movement in our autonomous period as the Robo Falcons go for, they're going for a high. Same thing over here with Just Add Logic. Just Add Logic got their high here in autonomous mode. Just a reminder, folks, the first 30 seconds are completely controlled on software. Oh, they missed their second. It looks like Robo Falcons are going up and they drop another. Looks like we're parking.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
And they're off. We've got the Team Kilts. Has a cone. They're going for a high. Do they get it? Oh, so close, so close. Robo Falcons are going to come in there and get it. They got it. Meanwhile, over here, Karma has just tried for a high junction. Just missed it by a little bit. Meanwhile, Just Add Logic is going for one of the low junctions. And they got it. Meanwhile, Robo Falcons have just got a second on a high. Looks like there's a little traffic jam over here on the Red Alliance. Meanwhile, Blue is working their sides of the field. Red has just put a third on the high junction there. And a fourth. Blue has just got a medium one there. We can thank Just Add Logic for that. The Team Karma over here. Looks like the traffic jam has now made it to the blue side of the field. They worked it out. Oh, that high junction on the Red Alliance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cones over there. Meanwhile, the blue all over. That buzzer means 30 seconds left in the match. 30 seconds. We're now in our end game. Looks like Red Alliance is concentrating on one particular. Oh, Blue's going to cap it. See if they do it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Game over. Controllers down. That was our very first match, folks. Week 1, match 1. All right, folks, the way this is going to work is we're going to go over to field 2, introduce teams, and we'll get the scores for match number 1 in just a little bit. For match number 2, our Red Alliance, Team 10812, the STEMbots from Dearborn Heights, Michigan. Their partners, 10137, the Emerson Robo Eagles from Livonia. On our Blue Alliance, please welcome team 15819, Brown City Devilbots from Brown City. And 11729, Chelsea Crash from Chelsea. So folks, just to put your minds at ease, Our first couple matches, we go a little slower on the scoring just to make sure we know exactly what we're doing. But during the day, our scoring will speed up. So there is no necessarily a problem here. We're just taking our time and being careful. All right, let's check out the scores from that first match. And the winner is Red, the Red Alliance, with a new high score of 98. Wow. 79 to 98 in our first match. Some of you may be wondering about the penalties. The penalties were for breaking the field of play while the robot was in the substation. So just make sure you pay attention to making sure you're not putting your hands in the field when the robot's in the substation. All right, looks like we're ready to go. Match number 2. Drivers in the box in 3, 2, 1, go. Looks like Brown City Devilbots are out there, and they score on a high junction. Meanwhile, Chelsea is out there. They look like they're moving into a parking spot, perhaps. Although Red Alliance is taking this as an opportunity to save a little power for the human-powered portion of the game. Looks like we've...
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
And they're off. Brown City is going around. Looks like the STEMbots are over there going for a cone. Oh, Brown City just knocked over a stack of cones that might cause problems later. Meanwhile, Chelsea Crash is lining up to pick up a cone. And the Robo Eagles are maneuvering around to get their first cone out of the substation. Brown City has a cone. They're going for, it looks like they're going for a high junction. And they get it. Let's see, the Emerson Robo Eagles are maneuvering around the field. Looks like they're going in for a cone in their substation. Let's see if they can get it. Meanwhile, Brown City has gotten another cone. They're going up for their third. Let's see if they can put a third one on there. Oh, no, they're going for a medium junction. Eventually, I'm assuming teams are going to start building circuits across the field to connect their two terminals. Oh, and they don't get it. Chelsea Crash is working to pick up a cone right now. Let's see if they can grab it. Meanwhile, the Robo Eagles are clearing their substation, looking like they're getting ready to go in for a cone. Brown City just missed another high. The STEM bot. All right, let's get ready for match number 3. On our Red Alliance, team 15-465, Team Crash. Their partners, 15-004, Technologic. On our Blue Alliance, Team 8603, the Fighting Gnomes. And their partners, 11-618, Chelsea Gremlins. Chelsea knows what's up. Oh my, folks. We've got our scores for match number 2. Let's take a look. The Blue Alliance wins 51 to 5. All right. Well, we got some early morning dancing in. All right, folks, it looks like match number 3 is ready to go. Drivers behind the lines in 3, 2, 1, go. And our autonomy period starts off. Team Crash with the first strike. Meanwhile, Technologic is going for a low, and they get it. Crash is up for their second one. It looks like Crash is going for, oh no. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
And our driver-operated period starts. Robots are orienting on the field. The Chelsea Gremlins are grabbing their first cone over there. Meanwhile, Technologic is scored on a high. The Gremlins are lining up. They're going for a ground junction right in the middle. Meanwhile, Crash is going for another on the high. The Fighting Gnomes have a cone in their position. Let's see what they do with it. Oh, Technologic is lined up now. Look at this. Look at this. Technologic is just pounding them out. Team Crash is starting to distribute their cones evenly. Meanwhile, the Gremlins are stealing. Oh, they get it. They get it. Crash is right back in there. They're taking ownership back. Meanwhile, just look at the machine here. Technologic. They're going to run out of cones. Are putting another on the ground. And they got that, ground junction. We got 21 seconds left in the match. We're in the end game. 15 seconds left. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Game over. While we await that score, let's meet our contestants for match number 4 on our Red Alliance, Team 15358, Balabots from Milford, Michigan. Their partners, 22415, Robo Toasters Blue from South Lyon. On our Blue Alliance, we've got Team 11617, Chelsea Glitch. And their partners, 10016, the Clarkston Robo Wolves from Clarkston. All right, we've got the scores for match number 3. Let's take a look. And of course, the Red Alliance with a new high score, 163-53. And with that, we're ready for match number 4. Drivers behind lines in 3, 2, 1, go. Right off the bat, we've got Clarkston Robo Wolves going for a medium, and they got it. Over on our Red Alliance, looks like we've got some teams parking in the zones. We've got 6 seconds left in the autonomy period. Looks like everyone else is conserving power.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
And they're off. Glitch is going for a medium. Let's see if they get it. Oh, they do. Meanwhile, the Robo-Wolves just got another. Oh, on the Red Alliance, we're putting them on mediums. Both the Robo-Toasters Blue and Balabots have been scoring over there. We got another one on the red. From what I'm seeing, the Blue Alliance is spreading out their cones pretty evenly. Red Alliance just put another. They got 3 on that medium. 1 on a high. They've got another medium with 1. The Balabots are scoring that medium junction pretty well. Oh, it looks like we've got a high from the Robo-Wolves. And a low junction from the Robo-Wolves. We're coming up on our end game here. We got 30 seconds left. It looks like we're putting a beacon down. Let's see what we do with that beacon. We've got 10 seconds left in driver-controlled period. 4, 3, 2, 1.